people's features.
Yeah.
So if I see a group of people that look Indian, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna play a soca tune because they might be Guyanese Indian or Trinidadian Indian. And if they start moving to that, then I'm like, all right, cool. So I know what to play for them.
Right.
But then if I don't see the move, I'm not gonna play Beware of the Boys with Jay-Z. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the original to see if they move first. Because then if I play the original, I could easily go into Punjabi MC if they don't feel it. Because if they're not feeling it, I'll go into that.
Punjabi MC
and Jay-Z. So then and that's my backup to save me. Because Jay-Z's on there, and I can easily go into Give It To Me or a Busta Rhymes record right after that. Right. So just knowing your library and knowing how to play, you'll be able to survive in the nightlife. But you also have to consider that the club is trying to make money off their bar. So you have to also give some downtime for the people to be able to get a chance to go to the bar and order a drink or two because they're going to get thirsty regardless. But you can't always just turn up because they're going to get tired. And you don't want them to go home early either. That's another thing. You don't want them sweating at 12 o'clock too much and then not stay for the rest of the night if they plan to stay for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, what's your take on like this whole this new thing that's been? It's not new. It's still around. It's still reoccurring about the whole USB drive DJs and the not USB drive flash drive DJs.
Flash drive.
Yeah, and all that shit. Like, what's your take on that? For me, I feel because of what the era is right now. Yeah. I'm not really upset at them per se. Maybe I'm saying things the wrong way. I'm not concerned as much.
Yeah.
But I feel like, all right, dude, don't get too lazy. Don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's making DJs comfortable when they do it that type of style?
Nah. I look at it like this. That's just like saying you bring crates to the club.
Right.
You want to bring the USB, bring the USB. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Where the divide is that people look at it, now it's just vanity. That's what messes up that part of the game. It's just the vanity of how the DJ looks. So what's going on now, what I realize is that the USB sticks was really like festival DJs, really, when you really think about it, because granted, laptops get hot. Laptops was overheating. So you're not going to want to be in a festival with a laptop.
Shut down, cooling it off.
So it's like, it's a lot of different things that go into it. So it's like, so what I've seen someplace recently was like somebody saying, "Oh, the festival style is messing up the club culture."
Not really.
But when you look at it, if you look at a lot of clubs, they're booking house DJs,
right?
And the house DJs are DJs that's playing festivals, like The Edge, which is Marquee,
right?
So that's a Tao group, and Tao group is booking the big
festival DJs, yeah, by far.
But the thing about it is, now when you think about it. But a lot of festivals DJs, like style DJs, get booked in a lot of these venues too, and they doing the USB thing. So it's like, is it a vanity thing or like what really? That's really when it comes down to it. Because I could do the same set they do with my laptop. So I think it's more or less like a vanity thing or look or feel that it gives off.
Okay.
That they think that this is what house music or this is how the DJ is supposed to look for this style of or genre of music. When it comes down to it, shoot, I would use USBs. Like, I'll get me a two 1 terabyte USBs and load it up with music. That's my whole library right there. But just like, for me, it's like, I'm like, somebody could snatch my USB and steal my whole library. I'm good. I'm good. But if I'm doing a festival, I probably do a preset because a lot of times when you do festivals, those sets are not that long. They be like 1 hour, 2 hours.
Right.
So, but I have nothing against the DJs that use a flash drive versus a laptop, whatever makes them feel comfortable. Me, I feel more comfortable with my laptop because I know I go in there, type in what I need.
Yeah, you and Cuddy be wilding on Wednesdays, yo. Y'all be wilding. Y'all be doing it.
My right now, I'm condensing my library right now because I have too much music. Damn. And I don't play too much stuff, but what it is that I have everything because I come up with a lot of things on the fly. So a lot of times when you come to one of my sets, you may hear a remix I did. I might have just came up with it right there on the spot. And then you ask me about it later. I'm like, yo, I don't remember. So, I'm going to be real with you because I do it so much. It's like, it's just like I'm just in the zone.
So for you, is it more, in the zone versus muscle memory?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. Because I'm going to say there's a lot of things I do know when I look back at my library. And when I look at my history of what I played, I know I'm probably doing. There's some things that I would say on my signature things that I normally do, and I've noticed that I do it a lot. And what I do is when I'm at home, I practice that same set, what I normally do, and see which ways I could start flipping it around and what else I could put in there to change it up from time to time. And then that starts becoming a way of me. It becomes muscle memory. Then I start doing it differently. So it's like, oh, I did that last time, and then I'm not gonna want to do it again until like probably 2 weeks later, depending on the venue I'm at. But like a lot of the sets I do, I'm able to repeat a lot of stuff that I do because I do a lot of different venues every week. It's not the same when I first started where I'm doing one venue every week.
Right.
But even doing one venue every week, I'm able to switch up my set because every time I go back to a venue, it's like, you was here last week, but this week you played more of this instead of doing this. So it's like, that's like, it's like me getting into a zone, and I put myself in the zone of playing a different genre of music.
All right, that's what's up, man. All right, man, let's get with the DigiWax family. You know what I'm saying? How long you been with DigiWax?
All right.
Years?
Man, it's been years.
Woo.
Don DeMarco.
Oh, damn.
Since I would say college. So I went to Parsons New School, and I would say probably like 20. I can't even say 2010. Like 2009, 2008. I've been around DigiWax.
Okay.
So I used to, when Don would bring up the record, I was the one cleaning up the records, doing the clean version of the records. Because back then, artists would just send you a record and don't clean the record. So Pro Tools clean the record and handed it off to CL.
Okay, that's what's up. Yo, so basically being with them, knowing that they've been a staple in the culture for years, how has being a part of the family shaped your approach to breaking records and staying in tapped in?
With DigiWax, I was able to stay on top of a lot of new artists that was coming out, and I could say for what I was doing when I first started doing radio and stuff like that, was the blueprint of what I wanted to do. Because when I started my site was around the time when Nas went up against Jay-Z, and people's gonna hate me for this, but I was never really a fan of Dipset and that whole Harlem movement and stuff.
Really,
like that. I was never a fan of Wayne.
Why?
It didn't feel like hip hop to me.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I'm in the backseat of my pop's car listening to Hot 97 and listening to like Wu-Tang and stuff like that. But it was too far left. I get it. I understood it. As a DJ, I'll play it. And reason why I say I like it more now, because the energy that it brings out of people. Because I know,
yes, sir.
I know when tapping into that, it taps into certain New York energy. When you're in the club, they love it. So I'll tap into it. But when it was coming up, I was more of like, all right, I'm gonna listen to Jay. I'm gonna listen to Big. Or I'm gonna listen to Scarface. So a lot of stuff I play in the club, I don't listen to personally. But nowadays, I more or less will listen to it on my downtime, so I could say, all right, this is where the culture is at right now.
Right. That's up.
And that's how I stay relevant. Because a lot of DJs argue like, yo, why are you playing that for? I'm like, well, if you look where I DJ at, the crowd that I'm playing for, a lot of them, this is what they know.
This is what they want.
So this is how I'm going to stay relevant. Like, yo, man, I tell you, I could play for everybody. I do schools. I've been DJing schools. I did a lot of proms. And what a lot of DJs fail to realize, yeah, they like this stuff. But you also got to remember, think about their age and the time frame that they grew up and their parents. Because they listen to what their parents
listen to. Hell yeah.
As surprising as it may seem, man, I did a 8th grade prom. And you know what song had them singing the loudest? Keisha Cole, Love.
Yeah.
So, their mother listens to that record, so they know it. So, that's really where it's at with it. Yeah. Staying relevant and just knowing the music that's being played.
Now, that's what's up, kid. Yo, what's the one story or moment with DigiWax that really stamped its importance for you as a DJ in hip-hop?
I'll say that would be, like, more recently. Because I've been more tapped in now with the calls and everything like that. And I'll say the pandemic. Because, I was really able to really get a feel of like the other people outside of CL that was a part of DigiWax. Because I didn't know how many people was actually involved to the point to like who was involved, the type of people that was involved.
Right. And,
I've known DigiWax for like years. Because even after working with DeMarco, I worked in the studio in Queens with the A-Team and VP Records. And we were servicing our records to CL and stuff like that. So I'm like, I could say, pinpoint, I would say first like major thing for me with DigiWax, I would say would be the first Meet the DJ I did with them. Okay. And it kind of marked my turning point of me realizing my skill set as well too. Because like I said, I've been doing clubs and and these venues for years, but it's rare that somebody's gonna come up to you and say, "Yo, that was a dope set," or, you know. So meet the DJ, spin the records. The set I did, artist was coming at me, "Yo, can you play this?" And I was mixing it in, and the way I was mixing it in with the stems and flawlessly mixing records, I don't know. God was with me that day, because everybody that was bring me a record when I load up, I was like, "Oh, perfect BPMs, sliding right into a sexy drill record." So, and then the artist was there, was like, "Yo, I like what you did." There's now from that, artists are hitting me up to pay me bread to remix their record. They pay me bread. I was like, I was just doing this for the love of it, but now like they want to pay bread.
Now it's business. Screw it.
And A&Rs are hitting me up about just like that day. I met 6 different A&Rs that stay in touch with me till this day because they like how I introduced and how I spin the record, and I appreciate them because with that moment now, since I'm on a wider spectrum in DJing, from doing rooftops and different types of venues, they give me records that could fit into all my venues. I say, "Yo, I need a record like this for this venue. I can push this here. I can put," and I let them know what type of records I can push at. "Oh, if you got a pop record, I can push it here," and they'll send it to me. So it actually, like, DigiRax is the blueprint of how I wanted to push records.
Right.
And it gave me that opportunity. It really gave me that opportunity to step outside of just like hip hop and R&B artists. I was able to break pop records. And there's a lot of stuff going on with it, so I can't complain. Like, that was my pivotal moment with DigiRax, was meet the DJ, and that helped to put me on the platform to where people could see my skill of how I break records and how I play records when I'm actually in the club.
Now, so I think for me, ever since I joined DigiWax in 2023,
okay,
you know what I'm saying, I'm about to be 2 years in. I think my moment definitely was when I did the who I felt was the top 50 New York independent artists list. That was huge. Shout out to Baby Flight. Shout out to Rat Wardranowski, Flea. Shout out to who else? Demi D, who helped me out on that. And I forgot who else. It might have been Sparrow. I think I called NWO Sparrow on that one as well.
Okay.
It was huge for me because even though it was my ode to the artist, because I was stepping back. Because I was going to be branching out and doing more other type of media.
Yeah.
But I felt like, it needed to be said. Because I don't, for me, I felt around that time, nobody really put a concrete list like that. You know what I'm saying? True. So definitely that was my moment with DigiWax when I felt like, okay, I could contribute, I could do this. You could say journalism. I mean, I'm going to put I don't really feel I'm a journalist. There's some that do feel I'm a journalist, but I don't really feel I'm a journalist.
I dig it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel I'm just a media figure who knows how to like put blogs together. And the way I put my blogs together is more marketing than actually writing a story. So and also too, I'm looking to the cameras, always big up the journalists ahead of me that played their way in the game. You know what I'm saying? I never really take that claim to the title. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. But let's get to it. Let's get to it with your own media platform. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You own your own media platform. What inspired you to build that lane for yourself? And does that tie back into your DJ career?
So it's interesting. I could break it down. So I built my media platform, Rapper Lounge. I built that around the same time Jay-Z and Nas and the whole Dipset movement and things like that. Because I wanted to, I guess you could say I was being a conformist. So it's just stick with what was going on, like what I knew hip hop to be.
Right.
So what I felt, and still there was still a need for that style and stuff like that. So I was just putting out there on my site stuff that I know me and my peers like listening to.
Right.
Like you love lyrics, so I started like that. Had people freestyling on the website, and then from there, when I got in throughout high school, that's what it became. Spot to go talk about the hip hop culture and music. And then when I got into college, that's where it took a little spin where I started doing radio. And then I wanted to be on Hot 97, but nobody's giving me no headway. I'm like, what to do, how to get there.
Boy, it's the same story with these people. So anyway, no, I won't do it. Nope, I'm not going to do it because I used to work with somebody at Hot 97, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say that. You're going to see that in the next episode, who that person is. But no,
that's how Rap Lounge Radio came about. So nice. I built my own platform so I could DJ and play the music I wanted to play and stuff like that. So that's where the whole media platform came from. like really expanded. That really expanded it because like, all right, there's so many different artists that's not getting played on the radio, but they could come to me and get played on my radio station and get the exposure that they're looking for.
That's all we're saying, dog. That's all we're saying here. Let's see. Let's okay. From your perspective, what's the current state of hip hop music, and are DJs still the gatekeepers of breaking records in 2025?
I would more or less say gatekeepers as in breaking records, depending on what type of what media standpoint are you standing on. Are you mainstream or you play, underground? So, and underground is not necessarily just not playing mainstream records, because there's mainstream artists that may have a mainstream record but they're still underground.
Right.
Like they don't always get play on the radio. So, there's a big difference. Like I say breaking good music, I say the DJs still have the upper hand on that. But social media breaks a lot of the mediocre stuff. So it's like, because everything goes viral. If it goes viral, your record is broken. Everybody's gonna want to play it. So that's the two main, like mainstream media. I don't think we have much control over that anymore, like we used to. And I say in the 90s, early 2000s, because of internet. Because everybody has access.
The abundance. They can't keep up.
Yeah, so it's hard to keep up. Even I have a hard time keeping up with music now because music is dropping every day. Before it was like, all right, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the dancehall artists because they drop music crazy.
Right.
But now it's like everybody's dropping that. It's like everybody's drop every week. There's a new record I'm seeing on my timeline.
Wild business.
And I just go through it because I'm glad that they find ways to advertise their music, because when I'm going through stuff, I see something. If I like it, I go and repost it, and then that's how I'll go back to it later and I hit up that artist. I'm like, yo, let me get that record, or And I don't really follow artists on social media. I follow them on the streaming platforms. Right. Because at least that way, when I follow the underground artists or artists that's not mainstream yet or hadn't hit that star level yet, when they drop something, it pops up on my Spotify and I go check it out and say, yo, let me get that record.
Artist, message. Just saying, message.
That's all it takes, is a message and saying, say, hey, I see you do this and that. Don't just send me your post and say, hey, check this out. I'm not going to check it out.
Exactly.
I'm definitely not gonna check it out.
Yo, give me a pound. Give me a pound. Because motherfuckers be sending me shit, and I be like, yo, I be sending my prices. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm like, yo, here's my prices. You want me to review it? Write a review. Here's my prices. What do you want to do? Nah. Cats is work good. Listen, Cats right here. We don't put in years into that. We're not gonna save the years. We don't put in the years, paid our dues and all that. Sorry, we're not taking out of our time for what we gotta create.
Facts. Like I'm curating the whole radio station. So you want me to sit down and you're just gonna send me a record, no context of me knowing who you are or building.
What about no backstory?
Like, I don't know who you are, so I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time and check it out.
Oh hell no! Sorry, sir.